Hey, testing, testing. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Guys, are you able to hear me okay? Can everyone hear me okay? Testing, testing, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Can everyone hear me okay? Please give me a yes in the chat box if you are able to hear me. Okay, news is about to drop in 3 minutes. All right, morning, Nathaniel. Can you hear me fine? Am I coming through clear or staticky? All right, cool, cool, cool. So just 3 minutes on the clock, guys, and I can tell you right now that the dollar on the 15-minute time frame. Well, let's go back to the 4 hour really quick so you guys can see that clearly the dollar's down, right? So obviously we see lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, all the way down to this area where it found the floor. And then on the 15-minute, this is where we can see, it found that floor and then it started making uptrend market structure. So this could be a potential reversal from going down to now beginning to go up. But this uh, upward movement that we're seeing right now is just a pullback to the higher time frame trend, which is down. So a lot of people get caught up in this. This is one of those uh, major issues with a lot of newbies and rookies, that they believe that this is an uptrend because they understand market structure, but they're not putting it in conjunction with the higher time frame to see that price is down and not up. So they go to buy, and then price taps into a level of resistance or supply, and then reverses on them, and they don't understand why. All right, so just to put that into, or put that out there, we are in a uptrend on the lower time frame, but on the higher time frame, this is just a pullback to the higher time frame downtrend. All right, so we're still down on the dollar. So depending on how this news comes out, we may pretty much manipulate up and then continue falling. All right, there's liquidity that was built right here during the Asian session. We have equal lows. So again, anybody who might have bought have their stop losses placed behind here, and this is a price. I mean, this is a place where price wants to go and fuel, pick up our money to try to, make a run, in either direction, right? But typically, if they grab it, then they'll go up, or, they'll come up to the supply area, they'll reload their orders, and that'll push it down, continuing the trend and just grabbing, our money on the way down, all right? But looking at the clock, uh, you say you want to see the market go red. Well, I want to see these indices go red, that's for sure. So I'm actually wanting the dollar to continue rising just to break out of this particular high level over here. But clearly, time will tell if that's going to happen or not. And speaking of time, here we are. So results are coming, and let's just look at the charts. It looks like it wants to explode to the upside. That's what it looks like right now. So we're going to see. All right. Still. Dun, 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 dun. Now, it didn't jump majorly, but I can see it rising from the structure of it right now. and you guys should be looking at the Euro USD and gold. But let's just wait till the results come out. We don't have to jump the gun right at 8:30. There it is. So 232 unemployment claims. So their predictions were right, and it was right on the money at that. So it didn't mark this as red or green, but that doesn't mean that it's a good thing, right? So just because it still was higher, that is bad. All right. So let's see what happened to the dollar. All right. So far, the dollar, you know, isn't moving massively. All right. Which is good because now we can, kind of follow the movement and we won't, get wicked out or, have crazy spikes in volatility to where we don't really know what price is going to do. So this is good, right? But again, that was bad for the dollar. So what I'm expecting is for us to manipulate up a little further and then start dropping. All right. Again, we're right back in the area. When we look left, this is a low that we've broken. All right. We just broke that low on a higher time frame. So again, when you break a high or a low, right? And in this case, it's where price is coming from. It's a high, right? You know what I mean? But really, it's still just a low. So don't let that confuse you. I don't want to dive into that too much. But here we're just above that level, right? And we're respecting it as support right now. So this could continue to where we do something like this: push up, tap into the supply area, push down, respect the support area one more time, and then push up to where now this is solidifying that the uptrend is going to continue. All right. And again, this could just be a deeper pullback to everything as we could push up to yesterday's high, grab the liquidity from there, and then we go to drop. All right. So again, there's no telling really what can happen, but we just gotta, prepare for what the market, what these charts are showing us in these markets. All right. So dollar for now didn't do much of anything. All right. And I'm already, kind of expecting that because PMI is right behind it at 9:45. So if you guys can stick around, we'll go through that. But with PMI being at 9:45, that's the one that's really going to get the dollar moving. So what we're going to see up until then is how the dollar is going to set itself up for whatever PMI is going to be. All right. So with more unemployment, all right, guys, from the claims just now to PMI, I'm not expecting it to be good. All right. Even though the dollar looks like it can reverse and go up, I'm still expecting it to be bad, right? Because they're already expecting lower on each front. All right. So for the manufacturing PMI from 49.6 to 49.5, that's lower. That's bad, right? From 55 to 54, that's bad, even though it's above 50. So that's a little bit of a tricky, situation, because if it comes out to anything below 54, that's still good because it's above 50, but it's lower than they expected or lower than previously. So that's bad, right? You know what I mean? So which one is it really going to be? Is it going to be good or bad? That one's, going to be very difficult to determine. So, we'll see. But if this one, right, if this one comes below 49, then guys, the dollar most likely is going to fall. All right. So we'll see. But one moment. Ghost was good. All right, so again, hope you guys been following me. The dollar so far is still in a downtrend. On the lower time frame, we just have a minor pullback to where we're most likely going to tap into supply, maybe yesterday's high, and then fall to go and grab liquidity that's been engineered here at these equal lows, as well as liquidity that sits behind the previous day's low, right? And then on top of that, we got one more major support area. All right, so again, rising up to grab supply, grab liquidity from yesterday, and then use those orders, right? Our buy orders, that's what those all are. That supply area is where the banks pushed it before, right? That supply area is where we sold before, and we have stop losses above that. The supply area is also just, wherever the banks want to place another set of orders, because they can't place all the orders just in this one spot, right? You understand what I'm saying? Because it'll definitely cause a big move down, and they'll allow certain people that were short to be able to take advantage of that. So this is really, when you look at pullbacks, guys, they're almost like manipulation in a way, right? Because people who have sold, right, they don't, everybody has that issue. When do I get out, right? When do I take my money? Nobody really knows, right? In the beginning. And it's because they fear that, man, this is going down enough, right? Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, maybe it's going to still go down. But the market, the banks and all those guys, they know, like, if they want to push it down, right? They want to use your money to push it down. They do that, right? And now they work it, they let it work its way up, right? As they take their money, right? First they took your money, but then, they take their money off the table, and that generates all these buy orders, right? And as these buy orders are generating, its price is headed right back up to a key price point that they were interested in selling. So after they collect the money from the supply area, right, in this liquidity area where all your stops are and other orders, they've used that to fuel another run down. That's why we have runs, pullbacks. It's all over the chart. Let's go to a little higher time frame, prove my point. There you have it. Run, pullback, run, pullback, run, pullback, run, pullback. There's a fundamental reason why these things are. And again, guys, all you got to do is think about when you trade, okay? Think about the trades that you actually get into and how you operate, when you're in a trade. If you sold from here, from the top, right, where you sell from, you saw that little evening star and you sold, right, and price drops all the way down like this, what is going on in your head? Logically, you're taking your money, right? Whether you move your stop loss, right, lower, or whether you just close out the trade, right? All of that is fundamentally creating buy orders. So this is why you can always expect a pullback, because you're going to always want to take your money. We don't know when you want to take your money, but at some point you will. And because of that reason alone is why pullbacks exist. All right. And that's the same thing with the banks, guys. They take a heavy position. You can see it visibly on the chart because price moves down drastically or it moves up drastically, right? And you get those swing points. So again, let me go higher time frame, illustrate that right here, guys. All right. Oh wait, let's go. Is this 4? All right, that's 4 hour. Let's go daily. Let's see if we can see it better. All right, there you go. Look at this. You see, this is a swing. This is a swing. This is a swing right here. Every time you get a swing, guys, here's a swing. Here's another swing, right? Every time you get a swing, that's where the banks are participating. So look at it. Swing, major move up, right? Swing, major move up. Swing, major move down. Swing, major move down, right? And then peep game now. Look where this swing is, all right? Just peep where this swing is. Now watch, after they moved it up, look where they came down to, right to that same area before they pushed it up once again like they did previously. So again, guys, I'm trying to get y'all to, put the pieces together, because once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? And that's where you get to, get your glow, all right? But saying all that to say, the dollar's still down, so I think it's going to just push up a little heavier and then potentially, continue in the direction of the overall trend, which is down. But if for some strange reason we get good news on PMI, all right, I can see the dollar potentially, okay, rising. And let's see, let's get to, let's say, the 2 hour. All right, I can see that it can potentially get up to this area of resistance, right? It'll probably break past this and get up to this level of resistance, right? But because we would have broken this high, right? This is what it'll look like. It'll rise up, it'll break this high, right? It'll push up a little bit more, maybe tap into this supply area right here. Again, this is another swing. Notice how price dropped significantly from it, right? But then price will most likely tap into this supply area like this, and then it'll give us a pullback either to yesterday's high or to this order block of this high area where we took off from, right? And then maybe it can even come into, some fair value gap or, order blocks on like a lower time frame, right? But it'll pull back and then it'll take off. Now, when we look at this, with the little schematic that I just drew up, right? We have a high, a low, lower high, lower low. Then we get a new high, breaking this lower high. So that's a change of character, a change of structure. You guys hear that all the time, but maybe you don't really see it quite well to understand it. But here it is. We go from down to now up, right? A new high, a higher low, and now once we break above this high, oh, it's on, right? It's a trend change. Not only is it a trend change, but you also have a key um, price, what do you call it? Chart pattern. So here will be your left shoulder, here will be your head, and then here will be your right shoulder. What is that? You guys guessed it, an inverted head and shoulders pattern. And with that, guys, that is a bullish reversal chart pattern. So kiss the baby goodnight. It's just, it gets that simple, guys. I know, looking at the chart for some of my newbies or what have you, who haven't heard about these things, it seems a little foreign and, it's going over your head maybe, right? But ultimately, all it really takes is a little practice and a little patience, right? And you'll get it like you get your ABCs. It's in that, same realm, right? Just a little practice goes a long way, all right? But for now, guys, dollar's still bearish. So let's go and take a look at some of our other major pairs, all right? Actually, we'll just go ahead and go down the line. We got a little time before, news for PMI hits, all right? So let's start from the top. And let me just check you guys out. Nikki, what's good? Again, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Really appreciate that love. All right, so let's get to it on the odd dollar. Looking at it on the daily, so we're near this major level of resistance, but you can kind of see that we're trying to, just turn around just a little bit, all right? So let's clean up this chart and see what we can really find on what's going on. And again, guys, if there's any pair that you guys want to take a look at, please go ahead and mark it in the chat or pop it in the chat and we'll take a look at it. All right, so looking at yesterday's high and low, first we got a doji candle. All right, so that typically signals indecision. All right, so we were going up for a long time on the odd dollar, but now it's thinking, hey, maybe we want to turn around. That's what that candle's basically saying. All right, so here was a level of resistance in the past, and just with that same area coming over here, it is now acting as support. All right, because price is above it. So we have a major level of resistance. I'm gonna get rid of this horizontal line and I'll just put a horizontal ray. Again, it just takes up less real estate and it is still a level of resistance as well as liquidity, because this is what, guys, you guessed it, another swing. All right, went from a major move up to now a major move down. So again, open your eyes and peep, where these areas are. They're very, very visible. Here's another one, right? We went all the way down and then we turned around and went all the way up. So again, another swing. All right, so these are areas where the banks participated to push price down like this majorly. All right, we got action on the dollar, and again, look in the past, look at this area. Kaboom, they came right down to it, took your money and then pushed it up. Right, it's a dirty game, but when you understand it, you understand it. All right, let's take a look at the dollar, see what it's doing. Got to get down. And what do you know? We're already getting ready to fall All right, guys, again, like I said, overall down on the dollar. So things like Euro USD, AUD USD, Pound USD, New Zealand USD, we want to look to buy those. All right, with the weak dollar, those pairs become strong. All right, and the dollar-based pairs like the dollar CAD, the dollar CHF, and the dollar JPY become weak. So we want to sell those. All right, but we're going to make sure to look at the chart, make sure things line up, and then we'll take our opportunities as we see them develop. All right, but for right now, dollar's already trying to make its way down, because out of that Asian session, we manipulated to the upside, which is typically the false move. And even with the way that price is stair stepping out of here, it's giving us little channel vibes. All right, so you guys know anything about that? Kaboom, there you go. Right, so now this is a rising channel, which is a bearish reversal chart pattern. Yes, it's only on the 15-minute, but everything applies no matter what the time frame is. Everything with structure is what it is, right? So if you're in uptrend structure, you're in uptrend structure. If you're in downtrend structure, you're in downtrend structure. It doesn't matter the time frame, right? If you got a channel that shows on the 15-minute, the same logic and concept of it applies whether you see it on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly. It doesn't matter, right? Now, what does matter is how well it will stand, if you will, right? So again, I give an analogy of like holding a bag of groceries in your hands, right, for 15 minutes versus holding that bag of groceries in your hand for an hour. One of them is harder to do, right? And if you can hold it for an hour, obviously you're much stronger than somebody who is only able to hold it for 15 minutes, right? So even though we have this chart pattern on the 15-minute and it's supposed to be a bearish reversal pattern, it can be short-lived because it's on a lower time frame. So price can keep doing a little dance all the way through the channel, hit resistance, and then fall, right? But as it's falling, right, as it gets back up here, as it falls, it can be short-lived to right here, right? Because that is a support area, all right? And plus we got, plenty of levels for it to potentially respect. So any one of these, it can pull back to and go up, pull back to, go up, pull back to and go up, and finally pull back to this support and go up, right? So it did reverse, but it reversed for just, 15, 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, right? It's not going to be the same as when you see it on the higher time frame, right? If you got this on a higher time frame, coming from here, this resistance area down to this area, that might be 200 pips versus on the 15-minute, it's only 10 to 20 pips. All right. So again, you guys have to keep that in mind, right? The time frame does matter, but the concepts, right, of what these patterns are supposed to do, what market structure is supposed to do, that's all the same. You still got supply and demand on lower time frames. You still got order blocks, fair value gaps. You still got consolidation. You still have everything that you would on a higher time frame, but you just have to, keep in mind it's on a lower time frame, so it won't last as long, right, as it would on a higher time frame. It won't mean as much as it would on a higher time frame. All right, it's just what it is. So with this, right, this is potentially going to reverse, all right, and when we don't know how far down, but we know liquidity is here acting as a magnet to pull price, as well as liquidity is here at this swing to also pull price down. So we'll see how that goes. All right, but let's go ahead and head over to the AUD dollar, and let's get back up to that higher time frame. All right, so here once again, just ironing out yesterday's high and low, and you guys should be able to determine right off the bat that we are consolidating right here in this area. All right, always three phases, guys. Got your uptrend, your downtrends, and your consolidation. Consolidation typically will give you an indication that contracts are being collected and decision is happening. and maybe there's going to be a change in the direction of where price was initially going. So we were coming from up, right? Looking at this like this, y'all know what it was, right? So here, once again, coming from an uptrend, right, to now consolidating at a major level of resistance. When we look left, here's a little high point, right? So how ironic that we tapped right into that point in the past where price fell tremendously. Let's just count the pips. That is 391 pips in 18 days. All right, so if we just do a little, we do it shorter to this low, that's 232 pips in 8 days, roughly a week, over 200 pip points. So again, we can have that same kind of situation happen here on the odd dollar, except that if the dollar falls, right, typically this rises, right? But that correlation is not always 100%, guys, and I don't want y'all to get caught up in that. I need y'all to understand that you want to go with what the chart is telling you over what correlation, what correlation will be between, the dollar and this odd dollar pair. All right, because if you put correlation first, you'll be in a situation where you'll be surprised a lot of times where the dollar's going down and then the odd dollar's going down too, and it's like, wait, what? They're not supposed to do that. How the hell? That ain't Bain ain't say that. That's what happens. No, it does, right? It doesn't happen a lot, but it happens. All right, and that's just the name of the game. So you guys got to be aware of that. All right, so dollar's going off one more time, and let's see. Look at that, pushing down. All right, but it's pushing down at the support of that rising channel. So again, it can rise from there and do the same old dance that it's been doing, right? Resistance, came to support, back to resistance, back to support, up to resistance, back to support. So again, we can still keep doing this all the way. Who knows how long it'll do that, but eventually it'll break out of here, right? Whether it's to the upside or the downside, and most likely it will continue in whatever direction it broke out of, right? But again, you still have to take into consideration levels and things to the left. When you look left, it's very important looking left to see what happened in the past, because it tells a lot about what's going to happen in the future or potentially happen in the future. All right, so that's what that's all about. But right now we're getting low, and again, we're getting to the top of the hour, so closer to news, things are just kind of making sense in that regard. All right, but over to the odd dollar, and we saw that we marked up the consolidation. Here was the high of yesterday, and again the low, just fine tuning it. All right, and with the odd dollar, oh, come on, say right about there. All right, dollar's really dropping. So with the odd dollar, here is our Asian. Matter of fact, we will just go with the Asian session. We won't go with the whole consolidation. All right, got the high and the low, including the wick of the Asian session marked out. So when we look at this and we try to read what happened, basically, y'all know we were coming from a major up move, and then we started consolidating. So now out the Asian session, we pushed up and we took out the high of the Asian session. And notice how once we took out the high, it reversed. So again, just touching on how typically the initial move out of the Asian session is typically the false move. It's typically the manipulation move, right? So in this case, that's exactly what we got. We came up, took out the high of the Asian session with this wick, got us a doji indecision candle, followed by a bearish engulfing candle, like a big body bear candle. And from there, we fell down. So right there would have been an entry for you to take it short and catch about 20 pips. All right. But now we took out the high. Now we pushed down and we took out the low of the Asian session. So now we've cleared both sides of the Asian session. But guess what? We were in a uptrend, right? We were rising up. We just happened to go sideways for a little bit. So just how consolidation or yeah, consolidation can signify a potential reversal, right, of us going from up to now going down. It can also signify a continuation from where we go. Let me illustrate it again. First one was we ran up, we consolidated, right? And that could mean that we're going to reverse from going up to now going down, right? That's what that means. That's one of the meanings. The other meaning is we come up, we consolidate, and then we have what we call a continuation, all right, where price starts to continue to go up. So we can get either one of those, and in this situation, I'm expecting a continuation because when the dollar falls, typically the odd dollar will rise. And notice something, guys. I want y'all to peep game. We got that indecision candle here, and then we drop. Now we got another indecision candle at a support area after sweeping the Asia lows and tapping into most likely a level of support. When we look left, I'm just going to draw this one right here. Kaboom. Right? That was liquidity sitting all behind here. Never touched before until right now. So we went and grabbed that money. Look at the wicks. Right? Rejection of sellers. We don't want to get lower. Then we had indecision. Then we had a bull candle. And these three candles collectively make up what we call a morning star. Google it. Right? You will see that it is a bullish reversal candlestick pattern, because it only comprises of just a few candles. It's not a whole bunch of candles that make up what we call chart patterns, right? So a little difference between the two, but this is a key indication that we may continue to rise on the odd dollar. All right, so with that being said, this may very well be a good time to buy the odd dollar right now and then catch this bad boy just continuing to rise. So let's go back to the higher time frame and see where we most likely will have a little bit of static on the way up. All right, and it looks like it'll be here at this high point. So if we do a quick measurement from where we are up to there, we're talking 56 pips, right? Doesn't seem like much, but it can go way higher. Here's another high point to the left, way in the past, right? But who knows, right? Because again, this flash PMI is heavy news, right? It really gets the people going, right? So here up to there you go, 137 pips. That is very possible, right? Especially with what we're seeing on the lower time frame on the 15-minute, that we spotted this early. The early bird gets the worm. The lower time frame, you get the details of the bigger picture. So now y'all done put your microscope on it, and you're saying, oh man, I think we about to push on up. And you take your chances. So like if we take it right now, which I'm probably going to do, right here, and a position right below, this is only 10 pips, guys. Come on. I'm taking that, all right? I'm going to risk 10 pips to make a potential of 139 some odd pips. It's just what it is. Even if I lose it, I'm okay with that, right? So don't take this trade if you're not going to be okay with losing 10 pips. That's all I can really tell you, all right? But here, we'll aim for this first, all right? We'll aim for the 50 pips first. But, anybody in my Discord, my members, they know me. I am definitely going to aim for this, right? So I'm going to make two positions. One is going to be my long position, and one is going to be the position where I'm looking to just take it right to this high, all right? But again, coming on down, bring it right around there, just about 10 pips. And that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. So really quick, I'm going to jump the gun, right? Prematurely, because news has not come out yet, and news can affect this to where the dollar actually rises and then the odd dollar really reverses. All right, it's just what it is. But I'm okay with taking my chances on a 10 pip stop loss, right? That's what it is. So here I'm buying, all right? And again, I can't really take out the two different positions, but you guys just know that, I will be taking out, another position, just aiming for the gusto of that 100 and some odd pips. All right, so for this one, we're just going to aim right up to this high, and that's for about 50 to 60 pips roughly. So I'm going to give you guys this play. Let's get some alerts on it just to see if it's going to continue to rise, all right? And if they go off, then we should know that we're in profit. That's how you use alerts, all right? And alerts are so critical to your trading, especially when you got a good setup, or you just want to simply know when price is moving up or down, to to go in your direction or even against you, right? Both are key things to know, when you have a particular setup, all right? But for now, I'm taking the odd dollar. And if you guys are feeling it, then please go ahead and take it as well. 067334. All right. Okay, that is 12 pips. Okay, and that's 50 pips. All right, guys, there's the play. All right, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for me. Let's move on to the euro dollar, which is heavily correlated with the dollar. All right, so going up to the daily. Again, you guys can see, once again, we're at a major level of resistance, right? Just looking in the past, we had another, again, swing, right? These areas are key, right? Every single time we get to some kind of swing in the past, we take the same kind of action, right? So again, you saw major move up, got to the swing point, went all the way down. Once again, we got a major move up, we're at the swing point in the past, so maybe we'll start getting that major move down once again. That's just the logistics of it, all right? So now on the daily, I'm just going to mark the previous day high and the previous day low. A lot of people, when they are brand new, they have no idea that they need to form some sort of bias, right? What they do is they get on the chart. They just look, it could be any time frame, and they'll see a candle going up or down, and that's what's going to motivate them to sell. They're taking a very good hunch. They're taking a very good guess. They're going off of their feelings. Oh man, I see this going down. I feel like it's going to keep going down. I see that candle going up. It looks huge. I'm going to keep, I'm going to get in for a buy. It's going to keep going up. They have no structure. They have no vision. They have no bias, right? They don't really understand price action, charts, nothing, right? They don't even know news is about to come up and potentially railroad them in whatever trade they just got into, right? So again, guys, trying to give y'all the game on how this goes. One of the things that you have to do is you have to determine what the trend is, right? And to be able to do that, you got to know what the market structure is, right? So once you know what the market structure is and you know what the trend is, here you're saying, okay, the trend is absolutely up. We're on a daily time frame. We're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So now we need to go and make that higher low if we're going to continue rising. So if that is the case, guys, it's pretty excuse my French, right? It's just pretty simple, right? To where price has taken off from this demand area right here and pushed up significantly, right? We also created this bit of a higher low. So this is also another demand area. So if we're going to get if we're going to continue uptrend structure of run, pullback, run, pullback, run, here's where our pullback is most likely going to be, to where we're still going to be in an uptrend, as this is a demand area, right? This is where price pushed up previously in the past. So we come down to here, and then again, the banks participate, say, hey, this is the price that we want to get in again, right? And then they go to push it up to break above this high and continue the trend going up, just like you see it in the past, right? But you got to be able to know those kind of things to really take advantage of trading the Forex market, or any other market for that matter, right? It's supply and demand at its basic, market structure at its basic, understanding what the trend is, understanding what phase of the trend you're in, if you're in the run phase or the pullback phase, right, of the up or down trend, setting your initial bias, right? So with me marking the high and the low of the previous day, I can tell whether or not we're at the high, which is resistance, or we're at the low, which is support, and whether or not I want to be looking for buys or sells. So what I would like to see is that we were at the high, so that I can try to catch it coming to the downside as a pullback, because I know the structure has already ran up. So people are going to want to take their money, right? The banks are going to get in at a lower price, but they want to place a sell order here for 100,000 units, right? But nobody wants to sell here, right? They don't have enough sellers here because everybody's bought, so everybody's buying, right? But they need buy orders, and your stop losses are the buy orders, and that's your money they can use to fuel their buy, their buy position when they want to go back up, right? But guys, it's a lot to it. All right, I don't want to bore you too much. We need to get to the money, but just know that you got to have some kind of direction, that you understand prices in, so that you can follow in line with that direction, right? I know that if I sell the Euro USD, I'm going counter trend. I'm going against the uptrend. I'm trying to catch the pullback or potential reversal, right? But ultimately, when it gets to these demand levels or these support levels, price can potentially turn around and go back in the intended direction of the uptrend, which is up. All right, so that's that. So let's break it down to the 2 hour. All right, again, we get more details, and we can see, I had a potential trend line on market structure because it's forming that very nicely. So voila, from this low all the way up. Okay, trend lines need at least 2 touches. We got 1 touch here, 2 touch there. All right, that qualifies it for a trend line. Then we got 3 touches here and 4th touch right here. So it definitely qualifies it. Also, you want to see that price has reacted off that trend line and pushed up. It did. When it was here, it pushed up again. So again, here, it could potentially push up as the dollar is bearish, right? So we may not get that pullback that we think we're going to get all the way down to this demand level or any of these demand levels at these swing lows. All right. But that's what, these trend lines will tell you, whether or not you're continuing or following the uptrend structure, or if it broke it and you may potentially start reversing and having downtrend structure. That's what that's all about. So again, just Euro USD at a major level of resistance, pulling back just a little bit, but now respecting the trend line from, what we have here. All right. So again, I want to show you guys higher time frame. This is, what it was looking like. Here's the daily, right? So again, major move up, but then we kind of went a little sideways as we are now pulling back just like that, right? But you can see structure is still up. All right. So what that means is this is a area of demand right here, right? Or support, however you want to look at it, but mainly we pushed up from here. So if we get back to here, we can push up again. Guys, the story just repeats itself over and over. When you get trend lines and things like this, it tells you, right? This is what it did every single time. It got to these support levels, right? The demand is there and price rose up. It was very, very simple, right? So yes, stop losses sit all behind this for people who bought the Euro USD. So if it wants to reverse, right, whether that's news or not, right, it will try to eat away at all these support areas. They'll be a magnet to price. Just pull it on down, right? But for now, we are still up, all right? So the only area that we need to be concerned with is this one right here, all right? So we'll delete this one, and we'll delete this one. Okay. All right. And here's a fair value gap that we just tapped into, and we're kind of respecting it. Okay. And again, this is an inefficiency in price. The bulls took over. The bears did not have a chance to have any say-so, right? So because it's inefficient, it's unbalanced, right? And now that price is pulled back, it is balanced. The bears have had a chance to participate, and now this area is balanced out. So now we can either continue pushing up or, do whatever it is that we want to do. But that's the general idea of fair value gaps. It shows an efficiency where either only the bulls were able to participate or the bears were able to participate. So it is a area where price most likely wants to come back to balance itself out, giving everybody a chance to participate and then, head on to the upside. All right. So now we need to get some alerts on it. All right. If we go down to the 15-minute, we can read what happened in that Asian session. All right. Again, we are in a uptrend. So if, we are in an uptrend, we want to be looking for buys, right? And if we want to be looking for buys, then that means if we're looking at this Asian session manipulation concept, we want to see price manipulate down, right? So out of the Asian session, let me get it right. It's right there. Out of the Asian session, we took out the high right away, all right? And then we came and manipulated the low, right? And as you can see, when we manipulated the low, we just simply tapped into this fair value gap to the left, and we held our position, right? And also, as I get a little deeper into it, I can see that the way that it's moving is in this, downward kind of structure here, right? Which gives me, a wedgie vibe or a channel vibe, right? And again, a downward channel or a downward wedge is a bullish reversal pattern. So really quick, I'm going to hop up to the dollar. I want to see if the dollar is still falling. And there we go. We're just getting out of that wedge, but barely, okay? And for now, again, it still seems like it wants to drop, all right? And we're at 9:12 in the morning, so that news is coming pretty soon, guys. All right, and with that is where you'll get a lot of volatility, a lot of volume, a lot of movement to really show you what's going to be the intended direction. So what we're doing right now is we're trying to get ahead of what the potentiality is going to be, right? And this is where if you do this, you'll be able to kind of jump the gun like I did on the odd dollar, right? So over here to the odd dollar, we got into a buy, and the way it looks now, it looks like it's going to rise, right? It looks like that's turning into a hammer candle, and we're about to push up, right? So we can easily make 15, 20, 30 pips, right? And if you got a standard lot on that, which I do, 20 pips, that's $200. Who's made $200 before, 10 o'clock? Or, you know what I mean? Like, typically we got to work a whole 8 hours to get that. All right. So that's the power of Forex. That's the beauty in it, right? If anybody was wondering why the hell should I get into this stuff, it seems like a risk. It seems like a gamble. Well, you're gambling and risking your life every day, right? You think that 8 hours, you putting in 8 hours dealing with, unruly people and bosses and traffic and all of that. You think that's worth just $200? Nah, I don't think so, right? Especially with the way prices are nowadays. You feel me? But again, we got to do what we got to do to try to maintain. But guys, why not be a part of this and get it to, get into a point where you understand it enough to really kind of take advantage of it. You understand what I'm saying? That's what this is really all about. So I highly recommend that you guys, click on the link, get him a Discord and rock with your boy, because I'm going to help you get it. I promise you. Right? Shout out to Nathaniel. He's certified. Right? Shout out to my girl Ariel. She's certified. My man Martez, he's certified and he retired. Right? He told his job, kiss his butt. Right? I want a lot of people to be able to do that. All right? So again, if that's you and that's what you want to do, there's the link. Come talk to me. All right? So over to Euro USD, doing a little dance. But again, took out the high, took out the low, kind of respecting the low for now. And again, just got alerts on it to see, which way it's going to initially go. We can see that we can go and tap into that demand area, right? So I think that's what's really going to happen. I think up until news, we'll start pushing down, grab liquidity sitting behind this trend line to the bottom, right? We'll grab that, and then we'll tap into support, which is demand, and then we'll take off to the upside if the dollar news comes out bad, all right? If the dollar news comes out good, who knows? We might see the Euro USD tank. This is a very touchy moment, okay? Very touchy situation. But just going off of what price is giving me right now, we are still bullish on the Euro USD. All of this that you see here is just a pullback again to the higher time frame. You guys cannot lose focus on what the overall trend is. You understand? Just like we pushed up like this, we went sideways, but then we pushed up, we came back. When we came back like this, all the way back like this, if you look at it on that lower time frame, I'll find it for you. Here it is, right here. This looked at somewhat like a downtrend, right? Here, here, this looked at somewhat like a downtrend. And most people will just, think it's going down and then it reverses up. And they just don't understand why. Well, that's why, right? So all of our non-dollar based pairs are looking bullish still, right? Over to the pound dollar. Here's one of my babies. This one moves better than the euro dollar, or moves more pips typically than the euro dollar. All right, and the structure is typically pretty clean as well. All right, so let me try to remark this up and see what we got. All right, yep, look at this, guys. Nice order block. We tapped into it once and we fell. So I don't know if we're gonna, respect it. All right, again, with the dollar falling, this could easily rise. Here's a rising wedge, right, which is a bearish reversal pattern, but it's breaking above the high of it. And who knows, right? It could still continue to rise when we look at it. So look, for a long time, falling, falling, falling. And now we're just kind of, beginning a nice little rise in this wedge. But these rising wedges can still, go and move to the upside. All right. So people, don't forget about that. All right. Either way, we got resistance right above it, and we're talking 278 pips up to that level of resistance, right? So it doesn't look like much of a move from here on the daily. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the weekly, that's why. All right, but let's go down to the daily. Either way, it's still 200 some odd pips up to that area. So even looking at it on the daily, I'm gonna get rid of the wedge for now. Just taking up a bit. All right, and I'm gonna mark the high and the low of that day. Okay, and again, this is a high that was broken. So this is now acting as support, right? It was resistance, but now it's acting as support. Look at that. Y'all see that? Another morning star, right? Which is what we have on the odd dollar here on that 15-minute time frame, which is why we got into the buy, right? Look at that. So you see that little thing right there? Now we go to over to GU, and we had that on, what was it, the 4-hour? Where were we? Oh, right here. So you can't see it here. I think it was the daily then. Yeah, there it is, right? On the daily. So when you got that, and again, remember what I told you guys about the higher time frame versus the lower time frame. So seeing this candlestick pattern on the higher time frame, look what it did. Completely shot up, right? And that is 369 pips in just under 2 weeks. All right, so that's about almost $4,000 if you take out a standard lot in less than 2 weeks, right? Man, I can't speak enough about that, but y'all get the picture. Anyway, we broke this high. We went to make a higher high, but look at all of this move up that we have. So at some point, we do want to make some sort of pullback. Don't know if we're going to get it or not, but that's just the expectation of just price moving in a uptrend fashion. All right. So again, even though this is correlated with the dollar, that does not mean that if the dollar goes down, this can't go down, right? You know what I mean? They can still be moving in the same direction. So again, guys, please don't get caught up 100% in the correlation. Just know that that is something that you can use from time to time to try to understand what price may potentially do. All right. But in this case, the pound dollar is above this high, right? And it's made a new high. So now we're at this, major supply area up here. And I'm going to get rid of this order block for now. And I'm just going to go with, all right, Euro USD. Let's just check it out. All right. It's starting to push up right now. So I can fairly assume that the dollar right on time is pushing down. What do you know? All right, so guys, again, overall bearish on the dollar, and I'm trying to get this to you before news gets in the way, right? So bearish on the dollar. I'm getting a lot of signs to tell me to sell, and this is what I know. If the dollar does not fall, right, for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, it is definitely going to be because news came out positive somehow. PMI came out positive, right? That flash PMI. So let's run it right here. This flash PMI, if it gets above 49 and it's 50 or higher, oh man, the dollar's going to shoot up, right? And the dollar's been falling for a long time, so it's overdue. Let's just say that it's not that it won't keep falling, but it's definitely overdue for a rise, all right? And then if this happens to be above 54, right? That's another, little thing that could get the dollar shooting up. So there is no telling, guys, but we can still take a position based off of what the chart is telling us and what market structure is telling us, right? It has nothing to do with the news, right? From what the charts are showing and what market structure is showing, it looks like the dollar wants to fall. And it's still because we have not had a real change of structure or character to the upside, right? We got to break above this order block and we got to break above this high. And just to prove it, once again, look at it on a higher time frame. Look at the dollar, completely falling, right? And it's still, here it is, run, pullback, run, pullback. We are still in the pullback phase. So again, the next phase is the run, which will be to the downside. So if we do not get that run and price happens to reverse on us, we need to break above this high first just to have a change of character. Then we need to pull back and respect it as support to see that it's potentially going to hold that change of character. And then once the bulls show up, now we have an official trend change from down to up, and we want to be looking for our buys on every pullback that the dollar gives us on the way up. That's the sauce, guys. I gave it to you. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. I'm telling you, we get to it. Okay, but for now, again, it's still bearish. So I'm going to be taking my opportunities on things that line up with the dollar being bearish. All right, so I know we were looking at the pound dollar, but I want to jump the gun and I want to go to gold. All right, so we're going to go to gold because gold is gold, right? You know what I mean? And we want to see what that's going to do. So here's the 4 hour. Let's go to the daily. Oh man, it does look like it wants to drop, guys, but wow, this is going to be rough. I can tell you that. We might end up not taking anything because we might miss it all. Just with how everything is kind of lining up, it's very, it's very both ways, right? It can go up or down. Like I can see it tapping, pushing down a little bit more, tap into support, and then take off, right? Gold is already bullish, already made those new all-time highs, and it just gave us a little bit of a pullback. All right, again, it broke it, and now it's pulling back to it, and from there is where we'll probably go ahead and push up. But we got a few areas that gold can really tap into, right? So it's a demand area down here. All right. Again, gold is overall bullish. This little down move is just a pullback. All right. We also got our area. Here's the fair value gap right here. Again, remember I talked about that imbalance. So the bulls took over. This was on a Friday, I believe. Yep, last week, and the bulls took over there. That's when they pushed up, made that all-time high. So now they're probably going to come to fill out this imbalance, right, and then take off to the upside, right? It's a big possibility. So we got the high and the low of yesterday. We're at the low, so we already want to be looking for our buying opportunity. All right. So now we're on the daily. We go to the 4 hour. Okay, we're going to clean it up. So right about there and right about here. All right. And again, we can see that fair value gap. Right. So it's really between that wick and these wicks right here where the imbalance lies. And here for the demand, we can see that that demand lies more right here in this area. Okay. So fine tune all of that. Let's get it a little tighter. All right. Now we have a low. Even here we got a low and we got this high. I'm going to pull out Fibonacci. And Fibonacci, what do you say? You say, hey, we're almost at the 61.8, which is the old level that we previously broke here, right? So I'm expecting price to come on down to this level, right, and then rise up. But what it can do, especially with news, is it can give us a little fake out to where it comes all the way down to demand and then rise up from there. So guys, it's pretty simple. We can either put us a buy limit order right here at the beginning of that order block and set our stop loss right below it, set our take profit up to this high. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'll give you guys this play too, by the way, but this is going to be a $14 stop loss. That's 140 pips for a $72 take profit, which is 720 pips. How many people have made over 720 pips on gold? Raise your hand. All right. Oh, no hands. All right. Well, you got that opportunity today. All right. So here we go with that. And then once again, you can also do another buy limit order here at this fair value gap. I suggest putting it in the middle and then again, stop below this order block. But just, you got to know what you're getting into. All right. But this is just on the 4-hour, giving us, good structure where we can kind of determine what was going on. So now we'll go down to the lower times and still lining up. All right, look, there goes that morning star once again. And then what happened? Price rose up 280 points in 1 day. Crazy. All right, so now pulling back. And again, this is an order block here, right? So it could just tap right into that and start taking off. So we need to get alerts set on gold right now. All right, whoop, there it is. We'll go down to the 15-minute. Now the manipulation here, it's not quite the same because of the time frame, but we can just look at it and read structure, right? So out of this blue area, right, we really were in a downtrend, right? So we weren't really consolidating. We were making lower lows and lower highs right here, and we just kept doing that. But now we have swept these lows of that Asian session. We swept it, and we swept yesterday's lows as well. So that was liquidity. So again, once I told you guys, depending on where we are, if we're at resistance, right? So the high was set here, and then look, the next time it got close to that high, it dropped significantly. The next time it got close to that high, it dropped significantly. So once it made the low, we were looking for price to get here in order to see if it was going to rise significantly like it did in the past. So this is where we are now in the future. Got our alert set to let us know if it's going to rise. And again, guys, I think it will, right? So we got about another, 15, 20 minutes or something like that left on the clock for PMI. And guys, I really think it's going to come out bad. That's my hunch, right? That's not what it really is, but that's what I'm guessing. And if it does, I think gold is going to skyrocket, all right? Yes, it has been rising for a long time, and it is kind of overdue for some kind of drop or pullback, but it's already kind of giving us that, all right, from the all-time high. So here's that all-time to 25.31, and we've already dropped, 36 points. That's 360 pips, right? And what percentage is that? Really, to where we are now, we dropped a good almost 2% on gold, all right? So if we talk 2% in the market on any stock, people will be, losing their minds, right? You know what I mean? That'll be a big move in terms of, the stock market. But here in Forex, that was still a pretty significant move on gold, pulling down. But this pull down is once again just a pullback to the overall uptrend structure that it's in on the higher time frame. And again, you guys can't lose focus of that, because if you do, you'll always find yourself on the wrong side of the track. You're selling it in a uptrend. That's a big no-no. You're buying it in a downtrend. That's a big no-no. All right, so don't do that. All right. So gold, guys, I'm looking for it to rise. I'm looking for the dollar to fall. So we just got to hold on and see. All right. So look what I told you, right at that support level is thinking about rising back up to potentially go and touch here. And again, just do the whole dance until news says, okay, all right, stop dancing. This is the direction that you're going to go, right? Based off of the results and what have you. So Again, this is all just lining up, but dollar coming bearish. So guys, I took my chance on odd dollar, all right? And look, it tapped into the little order block, which is that indecision candle. Okay, it tapped into it. And now it's looking like it's getting ready to go ahead and push on up, but we'll see. And the odd dollar is correlated with gold. You know, it has a positive relationship with gold because odd is one of those countries that, you know, produces gold. All right. So if I'm going to take a buy on the odd dollar, guys, I might as well go ahead and take a buy on gold. All right. We've already swept the lows, right? And we're tapping into a Fibonacci area. But what I really want to do, again, is watch out for it to, you know, drop at this level or potentially, you know, hit this order block. So I'm going to give you guys this order block play, right? But I think I'm probably going to buy it, you know, from this 61.8 level as well, right? With the stop below the order block. So it'll look like this. All right, so my US 30 was hit. We got to take a look at that really quick because that's the big dog. And boom. All right, so guys, giving you guys both these buy orders. Just know that this buy limit has a huger stop loss than this one, right? Because this one we're buying lower. This one we're buying a little higher, right? So it's going to have a bigger stop loss of 31 points. That's 310 pips. All right. So if you can't swing that, don't take these trades. And again, this could be a reversal just depending on what the results of news happens to be. All right. But I'm going to take my chance on buying it from these two levels, right? The imbalance, so it balances out, then it pushes up, or the order block, so balances out, goes into a demand area, and then rise up, right? So here are those plays. I'll give you the lowest one first. So this is the one with less risk of just 140 pips on it, but still, you know, you got to be careful and don't over leverage, don't do too much so that you can survive this trade. All right. But here we go. And remember, it is a buy limit, not a buy stop. All right, don't put the wrong order. All right, this is gold. Okay, and that's a $72 move, 720 pips on gold. All right, that's your first buy limit order. Here is the second one that was looking like it's about to get activated. Okay, boom, there you go. All right, so both of your gold orders are in, and we're probably about to get activated here on this buy limit order. So looking at NAS. So if the dollar is going to fall, then NAS is going to rise. And we got into a sell because, again, we had a major push up and we were expecting the push down. Again, it was a premature thing. You know, I let everybody know that because we never really got a change of character on the higher time frame, but we did get it here on the 15-minute time frame right here. So we had this triple top and then we had a change of character and we respected it for a while, but then we started to edge on up to the upside. So again, you know, we're still, you know, around the presidential election. Nobody wants to see the market really crash because they're going to blame it on whoever was president, right? So there's a little something behind this and as to why, you know, it may not fall. But just know that if the dollar falls, this most likely will go ahead and reach up to this next level of resistance. But you know, it's just overdue. So everything's really mixed, guys, because the dollar could easily have good news, and then this really crashes, right? The indices come down, the Nas comes down. Look, SPY's overdue on this run. That can come down. In US 30, the same exact thing. So you see the positions that we have short, right? So we're looking to go short on this, but will it actually drop? Only time will tell. All right, and you just got to know what you're doing, right? You're not always going to win them all, but you're definitely going to get to a point where you're winning more than you're losing. And even with the ones that you lose, you're going to have such a pinpoint accuracy, entry on it, like our odd dollar, to where you only have, 10 to 15 pips that you're risking. All right. So it's looking like it's going to hit my stop loss, but it didn't. Right. And it's just because I gave it a little wiggle room below this morning star. Again, we can still get hit, but guys, I was good with that. Right. 10 pips, that's nothing. Right. After it does its dance, I'm just going to turn around when things are really ready after news, and I'll probably make that back, probably make that 10 pips back on top of, extra 50 to 60 pips, right? That's how the game goes, right? Scared money don't make no money. If you guys are scared to take a trade, you don't need to be here, all right? And again, I hope you guys click that link for the demo trading, so you can put in whatever lot size you want to put and see, what kind of money you can potentially make if you had it in your real account. All right. So don't make any excuses of not being able to take the trade. And if you got questions about it, again, please let me know. I'm going to get an alert on here just in case, because I think it's going to knock us out now. But here, yeah, the dollar pushed up off of that support, and there it goes. So our dollar's hit. We lost that one. Again, I'm okay with that. And here we're going to see, like, if we're really going to get that potential reversal on the dollar. It's not set in stone yet, but anything is possible with this PMI news. We can get both the news to come good, dollar shoots up to the sky. Both of the reports can come out bad, dollar can tank to the floor. Maybe they come out mixed, one good, one bad, and then we just consolidate for the rest of the week. You have no idea. All right, so just know that it's a little rough territory and where we're headed with this news coming out, because things can definitely go either way on almost everything. All right, so just looking at gold, and there it is, almost activated our buy limit. All right, so didn't do it just yet, but you can see how it definitely wants to push down now that the dollar is pushing up just a little bit. All right, so there it is. And I think we could just pretty much keep our eye on the dollar for now. Again, if you guys got a pair that you want to take a look at really quick, let's do that, because we're coming, getting to the countdown, and things are gonna go down. All right, when this results come out. All right, dollar CAD. Okay, that's definitely support. Okay, man, it looks like it's gonna rise. I'm not gonna lie. Dollar CAD looks like it wants to rise. Okay, so let me tell you guys on gold, if you believe that it's going to fall, don't take these buy limit orders. All right, but for me, I just think that dollar overall is bearish. I know it's pushing up right now, but it's all just the pullback to the overall down move. So that's what I'm banking on, right? And once we get to this level of resistance, this is a key area here. So to be supply as well as resistance. And at that point, dollar starts coming on down. On top of this being a bearish reversal chart pattern, on top of us manipulating the high of the Asian session and not really taking the liquidity from the low of it, right? It's just, how I'm looking at it. All right. So that's why I'm bullish on gold. But if you see gold tanking, right, and potentially reversing, for whatever your reasons are, right, then don't have these buy limits set, because you'll be highly disappointed, right? It'll just keep falling, 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 and you could have taken your sell instead of, being in the buy. But for me, I still think that the dollar is going to fall, and these are going to, these pairs that are related to the dollar falling are, or inversely related to the dollar falling, are going to rise, right? Which is our non-dollar based pairs here, or our, commodities like gold, silver, and oil. All right, so silver again still looks bullish, ran up, tapped into this order block, and still holding strong. So, um, I can see us, yeah, I can easily see us pushing up, getting to this level of resistance on silver right about here. Again, that is liquidity sitting at that high, and we can easily push right on up to that. And silver pays a lot, guys. All right, so if you are a silver commodity trader, I think you might want to go and take a look at what's going on with it, because it is holding this demand area very, very nicely. So we definitely have the chance to continue rising from it. All right, and that's just that. All right, so boom, bam. Now the indices again are a bit more tricky because they look, they're overdue for a drop, right? This is overdue for a drop. We're getting an indecision candle now. SPY is overdue for the drop, but it just broke the high and it respected it just a little bit. It may not be the right high, but yeah, so it's a little higher. It still broke it. Okay, and this is the low. All right, so looking at it now. All right, 3 minutes left on the clock. And yeah, so again, I can see it rising up to here. Just as a breakout, it can keep going. Demand is here, so if it does a pullback, a little pullback here, and then another takeoff, gold is very close to activating our buy limit, so just be mindful. All right, NAS, playing around, US 30, also playing around, but we don't know. It's breaking above the highs. So SPY breaking above the highs, US 30 breaking above the highs, and probably NAS as well. I just didn't. Here we go. So yeah, it broke above the highs as well. So just a little indication that it may push up a little more. But man, oh man, y'all, you guys are going to see the roller coaster right now on how things are going to go with the dollar. So get into the 15-minute, and I'll set the alerts. All right, guys, here we go. 1 minute left on the countdown. Man, it always feels like, nervous. Like, but again, we're not in anything. And so far, we lost the one trade on the odd dollar, taking it with a 10 pip stop. I think the dollar's bearish overall. I think these numbers are going to come out lower than expected um, on each one, and that is going to cause the dollar to fall. But if they come out higher, especially if we see 50 on any one of these, we could see the dollar shoot to the moon. All right. And that will cause gold to fall. That will cause the indices to fall. So again, guys, in these 40 seconds, when we look at the chart, you guys can still, try to prepare for that. You can put sell stop orders on the indices, right? Like below here. You can put it on SPY below here. You can put it on US 30 below here. So in case it drops, you'll take advantage of that drop. Same with gold. You can put sell stop orders below here. And if it drops, right? But we're about to find out. And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom, dollar shooting up. Let's see. No, the results haven't popped up yet. It's thinking what we gonna do. All right, push up, push up. All right. Now this would typically indicate good news if it pushes up, but we gonna see. We gonna see. All right, let's check. Still going. Okay, dollar's not going crazy yet. Uh-oh, getting rejection from resistance of this rising channel. And the results are lower. This one's lower, but this was higher. So we got mixed. And what is the chart doing? Now it's just, now, man. So the big hoorah has been halted to some degree. All right. No major volatility, no major push up or down. Price is now just doing the same old same because it, kind of balanced out on the front of both ends, right? One bad, one good. So we don't really go up, we don't really go down. We just continue whatever it is that we were doing. All right. So let's take a look at some of those pairs that we were waiting on. All right. Let's see, because the stock market is now open. So NAS. All right. I see Tesla's down. All right. NAS is pushing down. SPY's pushing down. US 30 also pushing down. All right. Let's look at gold. All right. Gold almost at our buy limit order. Right, so again, still looking pretty decent. Let's look at that USD CAD. It's pushing up, which it looks like it wanted to do anyway. Yeah, it's definitely bullish. USD CHF. Okay, it's also pushing up a bit from this level of demand right here. Get rid of this. All right, that odd dollar. All right, still pushing down a little bit. So again, looking at it, it's a little demand level right here. And it's rejecting that. All right, so let's get rid of this in our long position so we can really see what's what. Okay. Back to the dollar. So now, again, I'm still expecting a fall. But things are crawling just a bit, guys, so I'm not going to keep you too long. I just want to take a look and see if we're going to get any significant movement in the next, 5-10 minutes. That way we can probably get into a few positions. But if not, then, we got to wait, for the rest of the day for some things to start moving and grooving a bit more. All right. But, yeah, just indecision. US 30 took a big drop. Went 119 points. All right. So looking at it like this, oh boy, man, it really looks like it wants to drop. But it ain't dropping. It's making me mad. All right. NAS, same thing. Right. So my team was still in it. Like, we didn't get hit. All right. We got hit on US 30 because it wicked us. But NAS we're still in. And then gold, again, just a little boop, will be activated and it'll rise. Euro dollar, look, what did I say? Want it to go and tap into this demand, and then it'll probably rise from there. So just push those alerts down and we'll know. Dollar, little rejection. We go to 5-minute, see it a little bit more detail. And everything's just moving kind of slow right now. Not what I expected at all, but that's how the cookie crumbles, guys. You can't predict what's really going to happen. You just have to be able to know how to read it, right, and put it together. So hopefully you guys did learn something from this. If you did, go ahead and give a thumbs up in the chat box or say, you learned something. Again, if you're my regulars, I already know what time it is with you guys, but if anybody's new in the live, let me know. If you got any questions or concerns right now, again, any pair you want to take a look at, any concepts you might have heard about but you don't quite understand, you want me to break it down for you, please pop it in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer you. All right. Rejection of that uh, trend line in the rising channel. Again, hit it, fall, hit it, fall, hit it, fall, hit it. I'm expecting another fall. Okay. Again, guys, open it up for questions, comments, or concerns. Oh, there goes gold. Right. Nice rejection, and we're starting to push up. So now I'm wanting to buy it here because it didn't tap. It didn't go deep into the fair value gap. It still can, but I can probably get away with the position now. And now things are going off, right? But I can probably get away with a position now with a tighter stop loss, especially since news is over with now, right? Not that, this one. There we go. So here I can get in like this, and my stop loss right below that wick, and that's only $8 move on gold. And I'll aim pretty much for the high of yesterday. Is that it? Yep, that's the high of yesterday. So I have myself a 1 to almost 4 risk to reward, risking an $8 move to make a $30 move on gold, and that's 300 pips. So here I'm just going to get to the 1 minute time frame. I want to get a lot of details, and I want to see how it looks. And to be quite honest, guys, I like the way it looks. So I am going to buy. All right, I'm buying gold. And my stop loss right above there. I want to put it a little bit above my buy limit just in case it does pull down and activate my buy limit. You know, I'm good, right? But then aiming for, oh, that's my alert. All right, aiming for the high of yesterday. Or is that the low? Let me see. Okay, yeah, that was the high, so I have Fibonacci. All right, boom. And I'll give you guys the play if you want it. Just broke above this high, and I think we're going to get jiggy. This is a nice little double bottom. I know you guys probably can't see it too clearly, but we got a low, then we came back, same kind of low, and we're breaking above the neckline as we speak. So here is my current gold buy, and again, $7 stop loss, so just 70 pips. And again, that is more survivable than the 140 or the 300. All right. So again, entry price is $24.89. So here we go. Stop loss is $24.82. And take profit is $25.19. All right. So far, so good, looking good. And I'm glad things didn't go too chaotic because now we can really keep up with the tempo and take advantage. All right. But guys, hopefully this has been, educational for you. And look, we're about to be in profit on gold right now. Oh, it hurt me say that and say, oh, no, I'm not going to give y'all no money. All right. But either way, guys, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends and family to join in next time. All right. Join me in the team in the Discord, and let's really get to it. All right. But other than that, hope y'all be safe out there this morning, and in the meantime, in between time, y'all know what it is. Have a good one. Peace.